to make sure to get on here and finish the video. But we just we're collaborating generously together. He usually does his post on his Facebook, and I usually do one on mine. But since we're together today, we're going to Lily's little graduation, kindergarten graduation right now, and we didn't want to, not put our what is it? Just like our positive post of the day. So I was reading in Psalms 1:1, continuing like the Psalms that we've been reading through this week. 111, sorry. And the psalmist is just kind of explaining the character of God, of like how he's just accepting and loving and caring. And I don't know about you guys, but in this world, there is a lot of just high expectation of people with us as a mom, as a wife, as a dad, as a provider, as just everything. There's tons of expectations of us, and sometimes we're even hard on our own selves, and we almost sometimes hate our own selves for just not meeting our own expectations, and it's funny because God's the total opposite. He says, hey, you're good enough. Hey Rosa, you're good enough. I see that you're watching. Hey girly. Just you're good. You're a good mom. You're a good wife. My grace is, gets stronger through your weaknesses. And that's the awesome part of God. A lot of the times people think, like, when you hear the word Christianity or Christians, you automatically think like, oh, you're perfect. You should be perfect. But it's actually the opposite. It's people that know, dude, we're a hot mess, and this God works through our hot messes. And that's the great part of it. And today I just kind of want you to focus on just being able to love yourself, no matter what people are saying about you, no matter if that person, is constantly talking bad about you at work, or that person is constantly talking bad about you in your family, even your own mom, even your own dad, even your own sister, your brother, your husband, your wife, no matter who it is that's on the other end, constantly putting an expectation that you can never reach. I want you to just take a moment and just go to God and be able to submit under Him, and know that when you're under Him, you're okay. You're going to be just fine, because you are good enough in His eyes. And through the process of you growing and changing, God's going to continue to mold you and move you and change you. But it's okay through the process. It's kind of like your kids. Are you going to love your kid any less because he doesn't understand, like how to have perfect manners, or how to be exceptional at loving, or being super clean? Like, no, you're always going to love him no matter what. And yes, you're going to help him and you're going to teach him along the way to be like this awesome adult, but you're never going to stop loving them, or never, think they're not good enough. No, you're just going to be patient, and you're going to be using your grace while you're raising him. God does the same thing with us. Joe was saying some really interesting things earlier before the video got cut off, but I'll just go ahead and let him just express what he was saying.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it quick. I just reminded everybody that, God's grace is sufficient. And for me personally, it just takes on a very real meaning, because I have this nagging back pain, and I've got some issues going on that, doctors say that my spine is a little crooked in my lumbar spine area. I've got some space issues where it's almost bone to bone, and my discs are maybe deteriorating, and those types of things. And so there's always a nagging pain in my lower back. And so this morning it was just off the hook, like not unbearable, but it was just nagging me to the extreme. So I have a chiropractor's appointment today, and my hope is that I can go there, he can do his thing, kind of crack my back and get me in alignment and get me to the place where I can feel comfortable again. Because even right now, as we're speaking, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm kind of leaned over to my right, because I'm just trying to get through the pain and the irritation of it all. And so at some point, we might pray, God, take this thing away from me, but God's response may be, my grace is sufficient. And so in those times, it's when we should be able to recognize that outside of God, we don't have the answer. Outside of God, we are not enough. We don't have the response. We don't have the solution. So in a similar fashion, life may be putting the squeeze on you, and life situations may be causing you these nagging irritations. But the same way that I know that my back, I can't fix it on my own. So I'm going to surrender myself to the care and treatment of a doctor that I'm hoping that can get me to a place where I can have some relief. In the same sense, in your spiritual walk and in your life, your emotional stress or mental stress, you may have to get to the point where when you say, God, remove this, and he says, my grace is sufficient, that you recognize that outside of God, you are not enough. And I hope that that inspires you to surrender yourself wholly, the way that we would and the way that I will to this chiropractor. Submit yourself to God and allow him to get you back in alignment into the things that he's calling you to do. And when we do that, I think that we'll all find that there is a relief there. There is a burden that is lifted and the load becomes light. So you don't have to carry it on your own. God loves you. And if God is saying that you're good, it's because of what Jesus did on the cross that allows us to have and receive that grace from God. So don't carry it on your own. It's not just for you to worry about. God is with you. God is for you. So I just hope that you have a blessed day. I hope that you just surrender to God and allow him to get you back into that right place, spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Yeah, guys, and just the positive stuff is just for you to just be able to take it and run with it, and hopefully just by the transfer of just positive thoughts in your head, you're able to practice that throughout the week. So you guys have a good week, have a good day, happy Wednesday, enjoy your guys' rest of your day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.